Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss book 48 in R.L. Stine's Goosebumps original series, Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns. So, awesome cover art, as they always are. Does not correspond to the book, so minus 10 points. October of 96, so this was my Halloween of first grade when this book came out. This book is first printing, October 96, and it was never read. And how I know this is because it has shelfware. So it was sitting on a shelf for quite some time. There was a sticker, how much, it was actually, purchased for. It's got like splotches on it. So it was like in a basement. Like it just, like you can tell it was in a basement. But it was never read because we still have the insert. We still have in here, and I don't know how, the bookmark and then two cards. One is kind of coming off. But the collector cards, the Vampire Breath card and the Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns card, which is an insert. And we've always known that there's were like inserts in the later books. But I've never seen the insert in this, so I'm not taking it out. This is very special. So, pretty neat. Pretty neat. I happened to buy them in different various lots, and this happened to be in one of them. This says, join the all-new Goosebumps fan club, details inside. So, main characters, again, we're just drawing blanks when we have problems with the cover art. So Drew Brockman is the main character, right? Her best friend is Walker, and they're trying to scare their schoolmates, Lee and Tabby. But then they also have friends, Shane and Shayna. Who are twins, and they're plump and they're round and they, curly blonde hair and whatever, right? So Drew and Walker are like the main characters. Drew's the main character. This is her story. This is her perspective. So the objective of the story is to scare Tabby and Lee, who scared them 2 Halloweens ago. So the first 50 pages of this 113 book, no joke, is retelling the story of what happened that Halloween 2 Halloweens ago, what happened last Halloween, and then the plan to get them back this Halloween. So the plan then comes into fruition. Walker and Drew are out to meet up with Lee and Tabby. Did I say Tabby? Lee and Tabby, yes, to go trick-or-treating. And their friends, Shane and Shane, are supposed to meet up with them. So Shane and Shane never show up, and they go off gallivanting. But then these two, dark cloaked individuals, cloak down to the ground, as described in the book, wearing giant pumpkin heads with fire in them, come out and scare them. And then Lee and Tabby think it's Shane and Shayna, but then they don't sound like Shane and Shayna, and they can take the heads off, and they're like, this is clearly monster stuff. So the monsters force them through the woods. The 4 of them force them through the woods. The 2 pumpkin heads force the 4 kids through the woods, and they go to this new neighborhood that they've never been to before, and the houses are all close together, and the kids are excited. They're going to get so much candy. They are 12. They're going to be 13, next year. This is the last time they can trick-or-treat, because for some reason, trick-or-treating cuts off at the age of 13, which is a lie, but it was a propagandaed myth back in the 90s, and I do remember it. So they're going house to house, and it's getting late, and then the kids want to go home because their bags are filled with candy, and, they're covered in mud and whatever. But the pumpkins won't let them. They're forcing them to trick-or-treat in this neighborhood. They're going from block to block to block to block. Everyone's exhausted. And then they say, the bags are full. And the pumpkins are said, you're going to eat the candy. And they force them to eat the candy to make room in the bags to then go trick-or-treating again. So then they continue on, and then eventually it's midnight, and then the residents of the houses come out, but they have pumpkin heads. And it turns out it's a pumpkin-headed neighborhood in the random woods that they happen to be in, attached to their village. So the pumpkin kids that were with them throw new pumpkins on Lee and new pumpkins on Tabby, and then they run off into the woods, screaming in fear. And then everybody starts laughing, and then Shane and Shayna morph back into their human form, quote unquote. And then Drew says, oh man, it's so great that we have friends who are aliens from another planet who can shapeshift. And you're like, oh, okay, that's a fun twist. And then it's a matter of Drew says, oh, I've never seen you eat anything. This candy's for us, obviously. like, what do you eat? And they're like, hey, you're too skinny. Don't worry about it. And it turns out that there's these four, very fat humans in the neighborhood that have gone missing. And obviously Shana and the rest of the pumpkin alien group, who are not actually pumpkins, they're just shapeshifters, eat fat humans for some reason. And that's the story, 113 pages. Now, it's a great lead up, right? You have 50 pages of prequel, and then you have 50 pages of story. You should have had 50 pages of more, because it wrapped up within 3 pages, and I didn't like that. I didn't like how it built up to this really cool thing, and then like it just stopped. And like, these are not, there's 5 kids and a dog. There's no 5 kids and a dog. There's technically 4 kids in costumes, 2 pumpkin kids, no dog, unless you're assimilating the aliens as these pumpkin kids trick-or-treating on their own block. Sure, I'm reaching strangely for it. It's a beautiful cover. It's wonderful. It's sinister. It's fun. It's spooky. I love it. The lighting, the depth perception, incredible artwork, aesthetically speaking, has nothing to do with the story. So, it's unfortunate. Can't list this in my top 10 because this is not. No. It's got to match. It has to make sense. This doesn't make sense. Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns. Okay, that's Shane and Shayna leading the group. Great. Has nothing to do with these 5 random kids and a dog. Where the hell does this dog come from with a pumpkin head? Who is this dog? If we had 50 extra pages, maybe we could have diversed into this. Maybe we could have explained this a little further. But we didn't, and we can't, and it's done. October of 96 has passed well far away. So book 48, R.L. Stine Goosebumps original series, Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns. On to the next review. Mucho mahalo.